Good morning. We're going to do something a bit different this morning, but before we begin, we're day 43. We are 43 of 365 days of daily routines and rituals. And before we begin all of the things, let's read our Humanist Luminous book, or Luminous Humanist book, whatever you want to read, right? February 12th. One brave soul. There is no bottom to the ocean of the love that you can explore with another fellow human. Don't worry if your dance card isn't filled with 1,000 requests. All you need is one brave soul who can build trust with, and together you can take a deep dive into the wild divine. If you already know who that person is, then shower them with extra love and appreciation today. If you don't know it yet, who that brave being is, send them love through the ether. And know that he or she is already sending you love and making their way to you right now as you read this. I breathe it in and I receive the enormity of love from my beloved. I like that. While we talk about that, we'll do the movements for today. We're actually going to stand up. But when I was doing the things to bring in a person, one of the things that I would do was imagine the kind of life or kind of things I wanted to imagine with said person, right? So if I was doing the dishes, I would imagine how it would feel if he was there with me. So when I'm doing the dishes, I would feel that he was coming in behind me and helping me with the dishes. And what does that feel like? Why do I want that feeling? And a big part of it was because I wanted a partner who helped, not someone who made more work. And so have a play with how you want to feel if you are in lack, because I find that is the best place to drop into the vibration of frequency of what you actually want from a partner, and then it helps you manifest it in. So this morning I felt inspired. We have Erica coming over the weekend who teaches Qigong, and she's given me some different movements over the last few weeks to help my back. And we're running a retreat and I thought, let's do just something a little different. So one of the movements is just bringing our arms up, because what we're doing is we're allowing the blood to flow through our body today. We usually roll our hips around and get the bottom parts moving, but this morning I felt like we needed to come in and just do something slightly different. So we're just lifting our arms up, nothing crazy. Right, what this does is it elongates all of your back. It allows your arms to reach. I'll do it from this angle. And I can feel that pull like all the way down my spine. I can feel it across my shoulders. We're allowing the body to move, right? Now another movement I like is this one. And it's just getting our body again moving side to side. And if you're like me and you don't move your body enough, you're probably already feeling that. And the other one that I wanted to do this morning was just this one. For me, this one really opens up my body, because I don't probably move my hips and back enough. It's actually one thing that Cairo said. I have a very straight back for someone who has a lot of back problems. And I would say that's because I am huge on posture. I trained in the gym for a really long time. And during that training, it was really a big thing. Like, I was huge on how my positions was. I wanted to engage every single muscle I was using when I was training, because what's the point of training, right? if I'm making this effort and I'm busting my ass in the gym, I'm gonna do it right? So that was my thing. Now these movements help open up your liver and your kidneys. It allows the blood to flow through your belly, because what we're doing is we're stimulating the body. Now I step back a little bit. We're just going to, I'm not flexible, I'm just letting you know. Reach to our toes if you can. And if you're like me, you might have really tight hammies and it might just take you a little bit to drop in. And then we're going to go the other way. Because we need to stretch our body, right? All the wonderful things. All right, let's get our daily routine together now. Do a little protection. Nothing crazy. Strap you down so you can see. And I got asked the other day, why are you so like enthusiastic in the mornings? I don't drink tea or coffee. I have half a scoop of OxyShred in the morning to wake me up. That is what I call my like brain juice for the day, I suppose. It helps to wake me up. I don't do stimulants of other sorts. This is the only thing that I have, apart from food. So yeah, I just find that's me. But this is how I've lived my whole life. I've never drunk tea or coffee. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke tobacco. I'm very clean and natural. Like I don't even really take Panadol or Nurofen and things like that. So I try to do what I can for my body. And it's been brought up before why I use OxyShred, because it is a stimulant. It is a pre-workout. It does have a thermogenic in it to help boost your heart rate, so that way you burn fat. But what I have found personally, and my body reacts even if I buy the wrong toothpaste. Like that's how sensitive my vessel is when it comes to different ingredients. Like I'll start gagging if I buy the wrong toothpaste. It's gotten to the point for me where it seems to be the only fully natural, I say that lightly because I know there are substances in it that are banned from competing and things like that if you are into competition sports and things, because of the natural part of it. And the problem is, because it is natural, they've derived the ingredients naturally. They cannot measure the amount of caffeine in some of the things because it varies, right? It's like a fruit. It's like an apple. It depends on the weight of the fruit to depend how much sugar is in it, right? So same. So I do get that query. I just felt like that was important to talk through for some whatever reason. Random. Maybe someone wanted to know. But it's all natural. That's why I use it. That's why I like it. I start with half a scoop, I see how I go, and then usually by mid-morning I'm having another scoop as my pick-me-up for the day because I literally don't have anything else. And I usually find that's when I'm channeling and things like that. I need to be here, right? Extra on point is the things. Other than that, got nothing else. Retreat weekend. Taking bookings from Wednesday, but we have a retreat this weekend. I think we've got a spot or two left if you want to come. We're camping in the backyard and going to Fringe. All right. I reckon we leave it at that this morning, they're saying. I'm going to trust the why. I don't reckon we even need a bubble. I reckon you just need to see me face. Maybe you just needed to hear the things this morning just to remind you to be back in alignment to where we are, the attitude of gratitude, And if we feel like we're missing something, if there is a lack, whether that's in our personal or in our love lives, in our work lives, whatever that bubble looks like, right? If you feel like there is something missing from your life, I want you over the weekend to drop into your feelings. I want you to sit in that space and I want you to ask yourself, what is it that I'm actually missing from these spaces? Because I know personally when I moved through single life, I did 5 years of being celibate, did not allow anybody into my spaces because I needed to be clear on who I was. I have just survived 20 years of domestic violence at that point of time, and I didn't understand the depths of that at that point of time either. It's only been in the last 2 years that I've been aware of this. And so it took me a lot to navigate. And a big part of me doing it on my own was so I could learn what my thoughts and feelings were again, because I'd lost a lot of those parts of myself in those relationships. And as we do, right, we let go of our boundaries in different ways, shapes and forms, because we people please. I know I do. I'm a people pleaser. It's a huge part of who I am. Random. I'm gonna roll with this morning, but really random. And this is gonna take us on a whole different space. But do you know what that is? So when you have your fight and flight in your nervous system, there is different, all right, so using body consciousness with your emotions. So if we feel angry, it could bring up sensations of muscle tension, feeling hot in the face. We can clench our jaw. We will eventually clench our fists. And then we have an elevated or a loud tone of speech. And what happens with anger is it's usually because a boundary or an emotion hasn't been met. Then you have sadness. So you'll have heaviness and low energy. You have droop shoulders. You have trouble smiling. You might get that lump in the throat. You can get acne on the chest and belly. And you can get flat, whiny tones of speech. So your voice can completely change as well. And with sadness, the feelings is just feeling loss, grief, like something's missing, right? We have fear. So we get a bit of an increased heart rate. We get a little bit shaky. We might feel butterflies or a little bit of a pit feeling in our belly. We might get quickened or short breath. We might get sweaty hands, and we might get a quickened speech and dry mouth. And this means that there is a threat to our safety. Then you've got joy and happiness. We feel light and expanded, warmth and joy throughout the body. We smile and we laugh. And we usually have a bit more of an upbeat or tone to ourselves. And that's because we're interested in things, we're finding pleasure in life, and we're happy with our center of well-being. Disgust. So sometimes we'll clench or feel sick to the stomach. You might wrinkle or cover up your nose when something disgusts you, or you might change your eye language as well and body language. And that is because something feels offensive, either physically, emotionally, or morally, and that means it's gone against your boundary. And then you got surprise, so an increased heart rate and overall expansion of energy. You might feel a little bit hyper alert, and you might find yourself visually scanning when you're in a surprise state. And you also might be wide-eyed, and you might have your mouth open slightly, like in that state of shock, right? And this is just unexpected or in violation of something that you were expecting that didn't happen. Now, I'm curious to see why this is all coming up, but the big part I wanted to actually share with you, I just need to find it, and I think it's this bit here. So if you are a yes person in your relationships, and this is usually those of us who let ourselves go, you tend to be agreeable with no expressed preferences in your relationships, and it often is referred to as people pleasing or pushovers. So this regularly engages in codependency dynamics, neglecting your own needs to drop everything for others. Pride in yourselves on acting selflessly or being the martyr by showing up for others no matter what, and often you end up overgiving and under receiving support and care within your relationships. Regularly, you adopt the beliefs, habits, and even hobbies of your partners, friends, or family, and you can feel lost or helpless with others to direct them. The yes person's nervous system is often hypervigilant in people pleaser mode, and it is often putting people before themselves. This is huge. We need to work out where to stop that. These sorts of books, How to Be the Love You Seek, are really cool with this sort of stuff. So they bring in, there's actually 7 different archetypes that we have been conditioned to be a part of. So we've got the caretaker, the overachiever, the underachiever, the rescuer and protector, the life of the party, the yes person, which we just went through, and a hero worshipper. And they're just human qualities and strengths. If we've never been taught what healthiness looks like in our relationships, that's how it shows up. We start overdoing things for everyone else other than ourselves because that's what we've been taught. We're human. No one's exempt from these wonderful things, but I think they're important conversations to have so we can learn to break those cycles, to return to ourselves and regulate our nervous systems based on what our needs are. And sometimes we aren't aware of what those needs are until we read some really cool books. Again, if you would like to do this as a book club, because that is a lot, right? That's, ooh, am I really a people pleaser? Am I like the martyr? Do I jump in and help and make it more problematic for the person rather than helping them? Is this something you want to learn with me? I want to help. I want to be a service this year. So let me know what you need so we can share the tools with you, because I do feel over the next few months as we walk through some interesting times in the world, these are the things you're going to need to come back to yourself the same way we did when we went through COVID, right? So let me know if you need a little bit extra help in those spaces. I will find time for that. I feel like we should do a book club and do it on a weeknight online, and every week just show up and learn more about ourselves and the human condition and all the things, right? Holy shit, 18 minutes. I'm so sorry, guys. I love you. Have a blessed day. And if you're coming on the weekend, we might do all this in person. What do you reckon? I will see you all soon at some point. Have a blessed day. Bye.